Alright, I'm going to do a real quick review today on this Borescope that I purchased from Banggood. This is not a promoted video. They did not pay me. They did not give me this for free. I purchased it. And so I thought I'd tell you a little bit about it, and then I'll tell you my thoughts at the end. I got the one with the 5-meter cable. Unknowingly. I actually didn't see when I ordered it that there was a choice of cables: 1 meter, 2 meter, 3.5 meter, or 5 meter. But I'm happy with that. I mean, I would have gotten a little shorter one had I realized that. But for 30 bucks, it's hard to say that, that that's a bad value. Now, what it is it's a Wi-Fi unit that connects to your phone. And this is the first one I've seen that works on both Android and iPhones, as well as a computer. Okay, so you can use it on many devices, I should say. And what it has, this is the cable with the camera, and it has a little dial on the side here. That is for the brightness of the LEDs. The LEDs are in the end of this, as you can see, around the camera itself. And you can adjust the brightness from all the way off to fairly bright. There's also little tiny threads on the end of this, and that's for some adapters I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so first of all, because this is a Wi-Fi device, the instructions are a little lacking, but it's fairly simple once you figure it out. So there's also an LED on here. I don't know why they put LEDs on everything. If you push this just once, you get these two LEDs on the side here that light up, a green and a blue, and that allows you to then go to your settings on your phone and connect it via Wi-Fi, and it's that one right there. And now this is connected to my phone, even though the camera's not plugged in. Okay. To turn this off, you have to double press fairly quickly, like that. If you press and hold, the light comes on. This is, flashlight. I don't know why they put a flashlight in this. I guess just because they can. I mean, obviously you're not going to use it for the Borescope because there's lights already. And you can turn it off and on independently based on if you just double click, single click, or click and hold. Okay. It comes with this nice silicone casing. It's nice to store it in because it will help prevent it from drops and stuff. But it has this suction cup on the back. I'm going to tell you, if you have a case on your phone, forget the suction cup. It ain't going to work. Just not going to. I even tried. I thought I could get lucky and stick it in here, but it's too deep. It just barely touches. Sometimes I can get it to grab on just a little bit and it just falls off. So I wouldn't trust this suction cup anyways. It's really, really thin and lightweight. Okay, so this side of the device, let me zoom in here. Let me just a second. This side of the device is the working end, if you will. This is where you plug in the camera, and it's really hard to see, but they did put camera indented slightly right there in the plastic. These are the LEDs that indicate Wi-Fi. This is the on and off button, and of course that's the flashlight. Now, if we flip it over to the other end, this end is for the charger. And it does say charger right above that, but I really doubt you can see that because it's just barely, you got to hold it up just right to the light, and you can see the light kind of flicker off the lettering. I'm not 100% sure what that hole is for. I didn't see it in the instructions, and I thought these would be microphone, but it doesn't appear to be, or at least it doesn't work in iOS. It might work on an Android, possibly. So that's that. This, of course, is the end that plugs into the Wi-Fi unit. Now there's a button on here, and you would think, oh, push the button, take a photo. Doesn't work, at least not on iOS. Again, it's possible that this was designed for Android use, and that they just, because they were able to get the software to recognize it, that they ported it over to iOS. That's possible. So on an Android, this button might actually take a photo or start a video. Okay. With it came several cables here. 2 of them were charging cables. These 2 are charging cables. They're just a different length. Don't know why that is. But then this cable here is the cable that allows you to take the camera end and plug it in there so you can go to USB on a computer. Okay. So that's the main parts of it. They give you also, zoom back in here. Just wrong way. They give you this mirror that screws onto the unit. Oh, sorry, screws on this end, and this gives you a 90-degree perspective on there. Extremely tiny threads that are a little bit hard to get started. Okay, then they give you a hook tool and a magnet tool that go on the end. And what they give you to attach them is this little sleeve that these go up inside of. I found this extremely difficult to put on the camera, and it didn't hold it very well anyways, and there's no threads in this one. When you start putting it on, you'll see that there's thread marks on the inside here, so it might actually be messing up the threads on the camera. If you want to use these, I would suggest just putting a little tape around this in the camera, or a rubber band or something, because this is pretty much useless. Okay, now let's talk about the quality. They claim that this will do 720p. And by the way, they call this an endoscope. Please do not use this as an endoscope. If anybody knows what an endoscope is, it's a medical device. And this would not be a good endoscope. It's a borescope, okay? Designed to look down the bores of guns, or anywhere where you might drop your keys in between the couch and the cushions, or in the vents of your car where you drop something or you want to look. You could even use this for a car if you wanted to check out your cylinders. You could pull a spark plug out and stick this in. Now the bad. The bad is that the video and image quality, even though technically it's 720p, it's very bad quality. If this moves at all, even a little bit like that, everything gets really shaky and fuzzy and blurry. You have to hold it perfectly still for a few seconds, well, for a second. If you hold it perfectly still for a second, then you get a halfway decent picture, but not nearly as good as, say, a 3-year-old phone camera. So I would, it's like the image size is technically 720p, but I would not call this high definition. It's just really bad high definition, So anyway, there's that. It took me a while to get even a usable video to add on to this review, but I will add that on right here at the end. There's not going to be any audio over it. It's literally just me sticking it down a tube, cardboard tube that I have here in the office, that holds paper, and you can see anytime I move it, it's extremely shaky, but when I hold it very, very still, it's okay. So, what are my thoughts? Well, for 30 bucks, it's a little hard to beat if you can use it. What would you use it for? If you did own guns, and this would fit, by the way, let me see what diameter this is, because I know somebody's going to ask. This is, basically it's just a hair over 8 millimeters in diameter. It's 8.01, 8.02, which is about 31 thousandths, if you don't like metric. So, I don't do guns, so I don't know what bore that would equate to. So whether or not that's going to be useful to you or not, I don't know the answer. It is kind of nice to have, like especially if you end up dropping something, keys, coins, whatever, into a place where you can't see them. It will give you a nice, good view of that, as long as you can deal with all of the shaking. And YouTube is going to want to fix the shaking, but I'm going to put it in as raw. I'm not going to allow YouTube to fix the shaky video. Okay, so that's basically my conclusions to this. If you like this, if you want to see more videos on, well, reviews on items like this and technology, I do stuff like this all the time, so I would go ahead and take more time to video it if you want to see it. If you do, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will do that. And I will see you in the next video, but of course stay tuned for the bad video of the Borescope. Bye-bye.